Let me show you a different way to stack cakes. This cake is going to be very stable, and it's because it uses a combination of a center core, which when your cake wobbles helps to bring it right back into place on the center because it's built from the bottom of the cake up. It uses support rods, and these are very strong, but you're still able to cut these with a scissors, so it may be a little bit easier than other traditional methods that you already know. Support caps are placed onto the end of the support rods, and these are great because when you press them down into the cake, they help to evenly distribute the weight of the tiers above them so that these rods stay in place. So that when your cake wiggles and wobbles, it comes exactly back to where it was. Now let me show you how to do it. Here's what you'll need: center core rods, support rods, and support caps. In addition, perforated cake boards with the holes punched out of the center are very helpful, but if you don't have these, that's okay. You can cut the center hole yourself into regular cake boards. To start, you'll need to measure the height of all of your tiers, and you just do that with a ruler. I have 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4 inches. So my total cake height will be 12 inches. You'll need to assemble a center core rod that's just slightly shorter than that. So for a cake that's 12 inches tall, you would use 2 center core rods that are 4.5 inches each, and a 2-inch center core rod for a total of 11 inches. That means once this is through the cake, it won't poke all the way through my top tier, but it will be well over halfway up my top tier, which makes it very, very stable. To determine the number of support straws you need, divide the diameter of your cakes in half. For example, an 8-inch tier would need 4 straws, a 10-inch tier would need 5, a 12-inch tier would need 6, and so on and so forth. Build your cakes onto perforated cake boards of the same size. So an 8-inch cake tier would go onto an 8-inch board, and you would fill it and ice it either with buttercream or fondant, however you'd like. Now you take the cake board of the same size that's going on top of it and center it on your bottom tier and press very lightly to imprint. On fondant, you'll have to press a little bit harder than you would on buttercream, but we're just looking to leave a very small imprint so we know exactly where our center rod's going to go. Because I have a fondant cake here, I want to make it easy for my center core rods to go through, so I'm just going to take a small paring knife and cut away the fondant inside of the perforation, just a little dot like that, so that my center core rod can go down very smoothly and easily without messing up my fondant on top. And then you remove this, and you have a nice little imprint, and that's going to guide where we put our support rods. To measure your support rods, press them to the side of the cake and imprint them about 1/16 of an inch below the top of the cake. And then you'll cut them, and the reason that we do them 1/16 of an inch below the cake is so that when we attach our support cap, the cap itself will sit flush with the top of the cake. When you've got all of your support straws cut, attach support caps to the top of each and then place them along the imprint 1 1/2 inches inside the imprint at regular intervals. Press them all the way down into the cake so that the top of the cap sits flush with the top of the cake. Now for your center core rod, you insert one narrow end into one wide end, and we're going to press this down into the center of our cake until it hits the cake base underneath. So it's nice and secure. Now you're going to repeat your support straws and support caps for the remaining tiers, but keep in mind your top tier, because it doesn't have to support any weight on top of it, it does not get support straws. When all of your tiers have the support rods in them, it's time to start stacking your cake. So you'll take your second tier and align the hole in the board underneath with the center rod and slide the cake down over the rod. Now, if this happens, which it probably will, don't worry, just take off the excess, scrape away any extraneous crumbs. This isn't bad because my next cake is going to go on top of it anyways. Now we're going to attach our center core rod here so that it is attached firmly to the center rod underneath it. We're going to repeat with our top tier here, aligning the hole in the bottom cake board and sliding it down gently. So as you can see, our center core rod is nicely hidden inside of our cake. It doesn't come out the top, but it makes the cake super stable and very sturdy and very easy to transport no matter how far you have to go. For more information, visit Wilton.com.